Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Oakland Raiders. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So I'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they coming off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Game situation, let's go.
Throwing on first down is Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. That's complete to John Ross. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. Shotgun now for Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That throw good for 4. It's second down. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. And they played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Carr gives to Richard. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Carr. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And this one is right through. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. And with this offense, what about DJ Fluker?
Came out of Alabama, could play tackle, could play guard. He's so big, Brandon, I think he plays both at the same time.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Now it's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. A look there at how the Raiders will start defensively. It's quite a unit, number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get
Here's Wilson to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, Abby. What you got? What you got, Abby? Give me some. Give me some.
First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. To throw is Wilson. And incomplete. That is first incompletion after a 4-for-4 start.
Yeah, but they shouldn't back off from what they're doing. I like the play calling right out of the gate. I like the tone that they're setting. Keep going in that direction.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. Metcalf once again the target, and it'll bring up third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 6. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
We hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And his kick here is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw his Carr. Flushed out right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. Richard. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot the last couple of games.
Carr completes it, and that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run on first down. Richard. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage with a flag down here to boot. So they may back up further. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Carr to throw on 2nd down. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. These two teams all tied after one. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's got Adams on the hookup. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 17-yard line.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. But keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
On 2nd and 9, Carr toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now Carr. And that is incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now it's Carson. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's going to launch this thing way down into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. 4 down.
From the 44, Carr. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. The Raiders on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. On the ground, Richard. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Wilson now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down, but they'll get it back.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one. Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there. Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it? No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. Now for the point after. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
On first down, Richard. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. From the gun, Carr. Waller taking it in over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down now, Richard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
A fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now Carr. Eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And his kick is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're waiting.
And the ball is knocked out, and the Raiders pick it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player When they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Dancing to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. The Raiders on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A Raider first down, 17 yards. Carr now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Carr got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Carr now to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Raiders have retaken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 6-point game. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with an Oakland touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Wilson now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. A good throw here, finding Pascal. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And one off a deflection. And he'll be brought down at the 4-yard line. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. That's into the hands of Pascal. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Let's go.
Sometimes it pays to be lucky rather than good. That was not even the intended receiver on that pass.
But still able to haul it in for the reception. Wilson now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Over the middle, it's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is good. And the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
This is taken at his 4. And he's into the clear. The 30, past the 20. And he takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags, and it's a kickoff return to end the first half. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge it. Kick it to him.
Full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Now the try here for the point after. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll kick things off in the AFC West as we check on Kansas City hosting Denver. And this is a 4-point game as they've gone to the locker rooms for halftime. The Broncos trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, let's get over to Arizona to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Austin Eckler over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They run it with Carson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They run again with Carson. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. There doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
They'll run on first down. Richard. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Check, Mike 57, Mike 57.
And they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
180. We're good. 180.
Throwing his car on third down. It's a screen to Richard. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be fourth down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. On 2nd and inches, Wilson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Maurice Hurst in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that much.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
This way.
On 1st down, Richard. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
And what they have to do now is not curse their fate as much as focus on the task at hand. Inside their own 5-yard line, they've got to be careful of taking care of the football and not turning it over for the defense to score additional points.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Fielded at about the 28. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Now Carr maybe with a free play. And this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Back now in the East Bay. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. This is Richard. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. On 2nd and 11 now. Carr toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
On 3rd down, Carr. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. It was Quincy Wilson that time, was able to make the play defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Richard. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw on 3rd down, Carr. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Devontae Adams. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll run on 1st down. Richard, and able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Here we go. Here we go.
On third down, Carr. Able to find Warner. That's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for fun.
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Throwing is Wilson. We'll get this out to Barkley complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Wilson. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Wilson. And the Raiders have got him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Here's Wilson. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They run for it with Carson, and he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. So give him the 1st down, 1st and goal after a pickup of 4, and the decision to go for it pays off. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Will Dissly, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll keep it on the ground. Richard, a short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Carr. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the 1st down in the process. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. Now Wilson. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Again, Wilson. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 32-yard line. Now it's Wilson. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking...
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 15. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Defense wins championship.
On 1st down, Richard. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch down. 180. Go, go, go. Double tight, guys. Double tight. Hey, 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 hey. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Oakland, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.